Everyone, we are back in the pineapple or the pineapple gym or pineapple games. I really don't know what to call it yet, but let me know in the comment section what you think I should call this gym at my job. But anyways, I wanted to talk about an eating style, diet, whatever you want to call it, other than meal tracking, because I've been a personal trainer for about a year now, and 99.9% of the time when I have a consultation with a client or a potential client, every time I bring up meal tracking, I get the same response. I don't got time for that. That's too annoying. That's too tedious. I don't want to do it. I'm like,
ain't nobody got time for that.
But to me, from my experience, meal tracking is probably the simplest, easiest, and fastest way to reach whatever goal you have, whether it is to lose weight or gain weight, because it's all numbers, realistically. But before I tell you the alternative to meal tracking, I want to go over reasons why you should still give meal tracking a try. So for instance, for me, right, I was one of those people that was like, nah, I don't got time for that. I hate meal tracking. But during my weight loss at the very beginning, when I was 215 pounds, and then when I actually started to cut my meals, because I started to portion control just a little bit, and I realized that I did lose some weight, which by eating smaller meals. Obviously, I was eating less. But then I got to a plateau, and I'm like, damn, I can't get over 185. I was 185 for a really long time. I had lost about 30 pounds already, initially. And then I'm like, man, like, what's wrong? Like, why can't I lose this weight? Until one of my friends that works here, I would always see him in lunch, like tracking his meals on his app. And then I asked him, yo, what do you do? And he's like, yo, I just meal track all my meals. And then I'm like, bro, nobody has time for that. Yo. No, I'm talking to, bro. No, I'm on YouTube. I make videos, yeah. So like, I'm talking about an eating style, yeah. So, yeah. Oh yeah, kill it. But anyways. So once I started meal tracking, within the first month, I lost 7 pounds instantly. I was like, what the fuck? 7 pounds in 1 month? This is crazy. All in just meal tracking. Because what people don't understand is that everybody, myself included, we all have a BMR. A BMR stands for basal metabolic rate, if I'm not mistaken. Essentially what that is that's the amount of calories your body burns at rest. Like if you wake up, do absolutely nothing in the day, your body's gonna burn off those calories anyway, whether you just sit down all day, nothing. Like just more or less the BMR of an individual is between 1,600 for females and about 18 to 2,000 for males. So with your BMR, let's say you eat around, your base is about 1,800 calories, and you eat a day's worth of 1,800 calories. What does that equal to? Nothing. It cancels out completely, because 1,800, boom, cancels out. But let's say every day you stick to 200 calories or 500 calories less daily, your baseline 1,800, and you do 1,500 calories a day. That's a 300 calorie difference. What do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna lose weight. You're gonna weigh less the very next day. But how do you know? By tracking your calories. That's what I try to tell people all the time. You can visually see the numbers every day, so you know you're not wrong. Unless one day, you have fun, it's the weekend, you go out with the boys, your girlfriend, you eat a little excess, that's fine. You'll have a slight weight gain, but then the very next day will go back down. How do you know this? By tracking your calories. But nobody wants to do it. At the end of the day, it's calories in versus calories out if you want to gain weight or lose weight. So the eating style that I'm about to explain right now is intermittent fasting. And I know what you're gonna say, but fasting I'ma die if I don't eat. I'ma starve to death. If you saw my 72-hour fast video, you know you're not gonna die if you fast over 72 hours. You're just not. But the cool thing with intermittent fasting, there's so many benefits. But a few of the key benefits that I do want to point out is it decreases inflammation in your body. Your HGH is skyrocketing because you're not consuming any calories. Why do you think you lose weight or your T levels or your HGH is at highest when you're asleep? Because you're not eating. You get the same effects when you're intermittent fasting during the day. But the cool thing with intermittent fasting is that essentially there's a whole bunch of research online which is great about it. But essentially you just skip a meal. You skip either your first meal or your evening meal. By skipping that one meal in the day, a good meal is about 500 to 800 calories. So by skipping one meal, you save all those calories. You know, your base rate, you save about 500 calories, you're gonna lose weight if that's your goal, to lose weight. That's why intermittent fasting, like, you can get away with not tracking calories because you skip an entire meal. But then comes a few issues with me especially. So I started intermittent fasting back in high school because I wanted to lose weight for prom. And the first research that I got with intermittent fasting, everywhere I looked, it said I can eat whatever I want. You just have to push that meal until a little later. That's what I did. So that's where I kind of messed up because I kind of ate a lot of calories, but I was still fasting. So even though I did lose all that weight, there was that point where I plateaued. Because all I did, I was still eating the same amount of calories for my BMR. So that's why I plateaued. Once I started meal tracking, I broke that plateau and I got down to now around 170. Right now I'm about 166. So like I said, it's all numbers. And it's very easy when you visually see it. It's a lot easier because some people don't really like fasting because, you know, it does make them feel a little hungry. But with fasting, you really gotta ease into it. The most common one is the lean gains one, which is a 16-8. So you have an 8-hour eating window and you have a 16-hour fasting window. The cool thing about the 16 hours is that about half of those hours you're asleep. So you want to have like your last meal around maybe 6 p.m., 8 p.m. And then after that, just rest and sleep. I guarantee you when you wake up, you're already a good 12, 14 hours in. But at the very beginning, just ease your way into it. Maybe the first week, do 12 hours. The following week, do 13. All up until you get to 16 hours. And then that should be the norm. So let's say you choose to do intermittent fasting, right? You wake up in the morning. Really, the only thing you can drink is black coffee, no sugar, no milk. You don't want to spike your insulin during a fast, because once you spike your insulin, you break your fast. Like, that's it. If you drink something sugary, an orange juice with sugar, like, or coffee with sugar and creamer, you're gonna raise your insulin and break your fast. So you want to wake up in the morning, probably push your first meal till maybe 12ish, and you can start eating from 12 to 8. 8 o'clock is your cutoff. So afterwards, you just go to sleep and then just repeat the cycle the next day. Why I chose intermittent fasting other than the other diets is because intermittent fasting doesn't have a restriction on foods. Paleo has a restriction, keto has a restriction, Mediterranean has a restriction. So with intermittent fasting, you can essentially eat whatever you want. And before people come up to me and say, yo, but Jose, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Bro, just look at the word breakfast and break it down. Break, fast. You're breaking your fast. That's what breakfast is. When you break your fast, you can have eggs, waffles, or whatever at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I've done it because I love breakfast foods. All right, so we're out of the Pineapple Gym. I guess I'm gonna just call it Pineapple Gym. But we're here at the other gym, at the LA Fitness Gym, my second job. I had to come see 2 clients after my night shift job. One just left, and I have another one coming in about 50 minutes. But continuing with the intermittent fasting video, so now let's talk about who should not intermittent fast. And who should not intermittent fast is people under the age of 18, because your hunger cues are still developing. People who are breastfeeding, pregnant moms, for obvious reasons. You want all your nutrients to go to your baby. And people who take medications with food on specific times, because as a pharmacy tech, you do see that some medications have to be taken at specific times. Like you can't really, there's not a lot of wiggle room that you could go around that. So if you take medications at a specific time, you shouldn't intermittent fast unless you consult your doctor. But yeah, anyways guys, just like anything else, intermittent fasting, whatever diet you decide to do, at the end of the day, it's all a discipline, and you won't see results unless you're consistent. You can't just go one day intermittent fast and then the rest of the week just, not care and just half-ass everything. You have to be consistent. You're not gonna lose the weight that you gained in a course of 3, 4, 5 years. You're not gonna lose it within a month or so. It's just clearly impossible. You're not gonna do that. It's false. Anybody that'll tell you otherwise is fucking false. Unless you wanna be taking Ozempic and have like the Ozempic face and all that. You wanna lose weight the proper way. You want the muscle to melt off naturally so it can stay off. And moreover, it's calories in versus calories out. Or wait, calories in versus calories out. If you eat, no, let me rephrase that. If your maintenance calories is 2,000 calories and you eat 3,000 calories worth of rice, broccoli, chicken, you're gonna gain weight no matter what. It's all numbers. If you go over your maintenance, you're gonna weigh more. If you stay under your maintenance, you're gonna lose weight. So guys, I hope I cleared my point, and I hope you decide whether you wanna meal track or you wanna do intermittent fasting. If you want a meal track, you can start by calculating your body weight, your current body weight. You multiply it between 11 and 13. That should give you a rough ballpark of your maintenance, and just experiment with it. If you go week by week with that amount of calories and you don't see a difference in the scale, then that's probably your maintenance. But if you're creeping up in weight, that's probably a little too high. You should cut it. Now, if you want to take it a step further, I would suggest macro tracking. What is macro tracking? Is when you track your macronutrients, which is your protein, carbs, and fats. Those 3 macronutrients will, at the end of the day, equal out your total daily calories. But if you really want to work on your body composition and not just lose weight or just gain weight, you want to really put muscle in the right places, I would suggest hire a personal trainer, a coach, an online coach. You can hire me. You can follow my Instagram, and I'll be more than happy to help you. I've already helped my uncle's wife lose a lot of weight. I helped my friend, my coworker lose weight as well, and I would love to also help you as well. But yeah, good luck on your journey. And at the end of this day, I cannot emphasize it more enough. Calories in versus calories out. If you fast for 24 hours, but then eat 4,000 or 6,000 calories right after, I'll guarantee you're gonna weigh heavier the next day than the day before that you did the 24-hour fast. Calorie is king.